Ni hao. Hey guys, how are you? This is Patrick, and you're watching Patrick Programs. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel because it'll really help the channel, and hopefully, this channel is helpful to you guys. So, let's just help each other. Yeah. This video is going to be about 5 reasons why you should learn to program, and I'm just going to jump like straight into it. The first reason you should learn to program is because you can build your own apps. So, a lot of times people have ideas of apps they want to build, but they don't really have the skills to go and build it. So what they'll do is they'll go and find somebody who knows how to program, and they'll talk to them about the idea, and they'll expect this person to program it for them, and they want to like split equity or whatever the case. But the thing is, an idea is an idea, but like actually executing it is the hard part. So when you're asking somebody to program it for you, you're pretty much just asking them to build your entire business for you. So then I would say like you're gonna end up giving away like, let's say, 80 to 100% of your business idea, which I don't think anybody really wants to do. So the best way to fix that is to just build your app on your own, and to do that you just have to learn how to program. I mean, it's really cool. Like, it's like taking out the middleman. You don't have to pay anybody to do it for you, because hiring an engineer to, or just a regular programmer to make an entire app for you, that's going to cost a lot of money, or it's going to cost a big piece of your business. But most likely it's going to cost you a lot of money. And I would say most people don't have the money to hire a full-time engineer to work on an app idea that they have. So if you were able to program, it would be better for you, because instead of using your money, what you'd be using is your time. So you'd be using your time to learn how to program, and then you'd be using your time to actually build out your application. The second reason you should learn how to program is because you can get a pretty good paying job right after you're done with learning how to program. So if you go to school for computer science or software engineering, or if you go to a boot camp, or if you're even self-taught, once you can prove that you're able to do the work, you can apply to software engineering jobs. And software engineering jobs typically pay pretty well, especially compared to like the national average. So to put that into perspective, I'm going online right now. I'll put this somewhere in the video, but according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the median pay for software engineers in the US is $105,000, about, which is about $50 per hour. And the job outlook, which is the projected growth rate of jobs in the US over a 10 period time, so this is from 2018 to 2028, is 21%, which is much faster than average, because the average is 5%. And according to CNBC, the median household income in the United States is $56,500 in 2015. So a software engineer is making about almost twice the amount of the average median income in the US. And it really depends on where you're working. Like, if you're working in, let's say, New York or San Francisco, you're probably going to be making more than that. Maybe even starting. Like, if you work for a company like Google, you're easily going to make over 120K starting. Some people get paid 300, 400K, 500K. Like, it's crazy. But as it stands now, if you know how to program and you can prove it, then you're likely going to be able to get a good job as a software engineer, which is going to pay you well, and you'll probably have a job for at least a few years to come. The third thing kind of combines the first one and the second one, where you can build a business while you work. So at work, the first thing is you'll probably be getting paid to learn a bunch of new technology, and you'll be using technologies that you can also use to build out your business. So it's kind of like killing two birds with one stone. A lot of jobs don't allow you to do things like that. For example, if you become a nurse, then it pays really well, but you can't really take the skills that you use as a nurse outside of nursing to make money. But as a software engineer, you can take your coding skills and you can apply it to a whole different thing and make money off of it just by using your time. I guess it's kind of similar to like the benefits of being a plumber or some type of handyman, where they can work for a certain company, and when they're done working for the company, on their own time they can still go and do work, which is really nice, because it's like you can have a side hustle using the skills you get from your main hustle. So if you learn how to program, you'll have a job, that's paying you to learn, and then you can use the skills that you learn to go and build another business that's going to make you some money on the side. I mean, a lot of people are doing this. It's a very common thing. The only thing you can't do is take information from the company and build a side business with that. So it's okay to, like, if your job expects you to learn a new language, like let's say C or C++, just a random two languages. If they want you to learn that, then you're going to learn that on their time and you're going to get paid for it. And then you can use your knowledge of those languages to go and build a product. But if you're in a world where you have sensitive data that's for your company, you can't take that data and go and build a project or another company using the company's data. You cannot do that, and it's wrong to do. Don't do it. So I think so far the benefits are really good. Uh, I mean, if I haven't convinced you yet that you should learn how to program, I do have two other things. But I think so far this is pretty convincing. One, any idea that you have in your brain, you can go and manifest it in code and bring it to life. You can build your own app. You can go and get a really good paying job that pays more than the average, and you're going to be expected to work over a longer period of time because the growth is good as of now. And while you're working at your really good job and you're building your project, so you can do it at the same time. You can go to work, get paid, learn new things, and then go home and work on something else that's going to make you more money. And to me, that's super awesome. But anyway, the fourth reason I think you should learn how to program is because it's going to help you think a little differently. And I think maybe it's not noticeable until after you started learning, but it helped me become a better problem solver. And it also helped me think about things in a step by step way. When I first started programming, my thinking was just kind of all over the place. It still kind of is, but it is in a different way now. When you first start programming, you're learning if conditions, while conditions, for loops, functions. So learning like concepts like that definitely help bring you to a better place. Another thing is when you're coding and you're working on projects, you're always going to bump into problems. There are always going to be issues that you're going to have to solve. And the only way to really solve a lot of these issues is to, step through the code step by step, or you need to be able to troubleshoot and pinpoint where the problem is, and you need to be able to figure out where you made the mistake. And you need to also be able to ask good questions to Google or Bing. You need to be able to ask good questions because asking good questions is going to get you good answers. And most problems that you run into while programming, you'll find the answers to on Google. So by doing all that, you eventually kind of become a better problem solver. Solving problems is pretty much the same wherever you go and whatever you're doing. You just have to figure it out and use whatever resources you have to figure it out. And what you'll learn when programming is Google is a really great resource. You can just look everything up. And somehow it doesn't seem like everybody's completely aware of that they can just look up information on Google. So the fourth reason you should learn to program is because it'll make you a better problem solver and you'll be able to think a little bit differently. So the last reason and most important reason you should learn to program is because it's just cool and it sounds cool, right? Like you get to be a programmer or a software engineer. And I mean, it's just a really cool thing to be. You know what I mean? Like, who doesn't want to be a programmer? Or who doesn't want to be a software engineer? Personally, I like the title software engineer. I know when my friends started becoming software engineers, I was like, oh, wow, that's so cool. I was like, they just were like software engineers, Like, yeah, I'm a software engineer. It just sounds cool. And to become a software engineer, there are only so many paths, but you definitely have to learn to program. So if you want like a cool title or name like software engineer, then you have to learn to program. So to wrap it up, the 5 things are you can 1, create your own apps, 2, you can get a good paying job, 3, you can combine those two and have a good paying job while you're working on your own side business because you know how to program. 4, I forgot, wait. 4, you can learn to think a little bit differently, and I would argue a little bit more effectively to solve problems. And 5, it sounds really cool to be a programmer or a software engineer. Like, it's just really cool. But anyway, those are my 5 reasons to why you should learn how to program. So if you like this video, then please like the video. And if you think it'll help anybody, please share it. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. And thank you for watching.